morning, friends, and welcome again to Conscious Oneness. Lisa and I continue on our vision quest, and part of that quest involves meeting extraordinary people, going to extraordinary places, finding extraordinary products. And we're here today in sunny, beautiful Santa Fe, New Mexico, at the Center for Spiritual Living in Santa Fe, and we came here to meet Tom Brady, who's a resident astrologer, and we found out about Tom Brady through Kelly Howell's podcast, and that was a good enough recommendation for us. So we're inviting you to come with us. If you've never had an astrological chart interpretation done before, we'll ask you to join us in our session and see how that all takes place. So we also want to remind you that our website is www.consciousoneness.com. We just started a blog spot called www.consciousness-intentionalwellness.blogspot.com. And yes, that is a mouthful. So join with us. We hope you enjoy this session and stay tuned.
Let me show you some of the main features of your birth chart.
Okay.
So what a birth chart essentially is, it's a snapshot of what the solar system looks like from the perspective, in your case, of Norristown, Pennsylvania, at the moment you're born. You and Norristown are right here at the center. This is the east-west horizon line through Norristown. Eastern horizon on the left, western on the right.
Mm.
So everything above that line is literally what was in the sky overhead in Norristown at that moment.
So me in the center of my universe,
Mm-hmm.
looking up, this is what is above me.
Mm-hmm. And this lower half is what's below the horizon lines are hidden behind the earth.
Which are just as critical as
Yes.
the upper. Okay.
Yes.
So we not disregard what's going on below me.
No.
Okay.
Most people, when they think of astrology, think of zodiac signs.
Mm-hmm.
The zodiac's a part of a chart, but actually the planets of the solar system are far more important in the chart than the zodiac. The zodiac is a band of 12 constellations that circles the earth, against which the planets move. We use the zodiac not only for its symbolism, and what the 12 signs really symbolize are the 12 phases of the yearly seasonal cycle. We also use it as a frame of reference to tell where the planets are in relationship to each other. That's what all these numbers are telling us. So for example, the sun at the moment you're born was in the 8th degree, the 14th minute of the sign of Gemini. There's 30 degrees in each zodiac sign.
May I write on this?
Yes, that's for you. So the zodiac is like background information. The planets are like actresses and actors on the stage of your life, and the zodiac is like the scenery against which they're performing. So we want to talk more about the actors and actresses than we want to talk about the scenery here. So you'll hear a little bit about the zodiac today. And it's not that it's not useful and interesting, it's just that the planets are more useful and more interesting.
Are they gateways at some point? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Each of them symbolizes a certain energy, and you can look at them as gateways for that energy.
Because there's no linear time. I chose to come in at this entrance through the Gemini zodiac, more or less. Is that a way to understand it?
If that's the way that you prefer to understand it, I don't think we know. In other words, maybe we chose, maybe we didn't choose.
Okay.
To me, I'm agnostic about that.
Okay.
If it fits your metaphysical frame to see yourself as choosing, many people do that.
Okay.
I just don't. I try to separate the astrology from metaphysics. In other words, the metaphysics is the overlay we put on it, the reasoning, behind all this. I just work with movements of energies here.
Okay.
Whatever the ultimate thing going on, I respect it. I just don't know what that is.
And does it matter, really?
I don't think so.
You know,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But many clients prefer to work within the belief structure that they've chosen this moment.
And I don't know for sure either.
Okay.
You know, I say that, but unlike you, I err on the
That's
side.
one good possibility.
Yeah, whatever it is. But again, do I put a lot of thought into understanding it? Not really.
It's an idea.
It's an idea.
And ultimately ideas can change,
Right.
and ultimately they're not that important.
Right.
So what I see astrologers doing and people into astrology is overlaying all layers of ideas on top of the chart. I've come to the conclusion it's better just to stay with the chart. For me to stay with the chart, you can overlay whatever you want.
Okay. So you're a purist.
If I, in that sense, yeah, if I overlay it with some metaphysical viewpoint, then I'm laying my viewpoint on you, and I don't think that's, if you choose my viewpoint, that's one thing, but to have it imposed on me is a whole different thing.
Well, thank you. I think that's a good way for me to assess, and then I can overlay it if I choose.
Yeah. So each planet symbolizes a different side of yourself. You and I, for example, have the same planets in our chart. But because we're born at different moments in time, the planets in your chart are patterned quite differently with each other than the planets in my chart. So another way to define your birth chart is to say it's simply the pattern of planets at the moment you're born.
Okay.
And we look at this patterning in two distinct ways. We always look at that pattern back on May 29th, 1958, because that's your pattern. It's like your thumbprint. The computer took a snapshot of that moment, and that moment is your moment till the day you die. But we also look at the pattern in the sky today. And the thing about the pattern today is it's moving and changing all the time. And we correlate those two patterns. In other words, we're watching the way the planets today are moving across the fixed pattern of your birth chart. And as they move through different areas of your chart, the energies they symbolize, the energies they're gateways for, and I think that's a very good way to think about them, move through different areas of your life, kind of like weather fronts coming across Colorado. So the planets today are called the transiting planets. The planets in your birth chart we refer to as the natal planets. So in effect you have two of every planet, where it was at the time you're born, say Jupiter, and where it is today. And we're watching both of those.